I said, hey, Cynthia, how would you like to make 610 on that duplex instead? And her eyes got really big, like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, if the property came with financing, it would open up the buyer pool and there would be more demand for it. And we could probably find a buyer who's willing to do interest-only payments. And that means we could charge them 610 and our payment would still be less than a borrower with a bank who was paying 550. So even though it was 10% more, essentially, it was still
Yeah.
cheaper for the borrower. And so, but the problem is he's Muslim and he can't pay interest. His religion bars him from doing that. And so I said, well, that's no problem because we write the contracts here. We write the mortgage. We can do whatever we want. And so I called up Abdul and I said, Abdul, would you like to pay a 0% interest loan and buy this property from your landlord? And he's like, yes, of course. And so I said, okay, well, how many years would you like to buy this over? And he thought about it. He's like 7 years. And so I just got a calculator out and I estimated what would be about 6% over 7 years. And I took that and I added it to the principal balance, to the price. So he was doing a 0%
Hmm.
loan with a higher price. So it would adhere to his religious principles.
Yes, and it would still be like an interest rate, but not.
She's still able to afford to sell it this way to him, and he's able to get in without violating his belief system. So basically, all in, Cynthia sold it for not 550, for 725 over 7 years. And Abdul is now the owner of this property, and his mother-in-law is moving in downstairs, and they can walk to the mosque together each week. And this is the power of creative finance. When we don't lock ourselves into what the bank says, who's allowed to buy, who's allowed to have ownership in this country, who's allowed to build wealth, when we stop believing those myths and we start to take control and agency in our own lives, neighbor to neighbor, we can solve problems together just like this.